Hi, my name is Dr. Gwen Martin. I am a board certified behavior analyst and I'm also an instructor here at Ball State. And today I get to talk with you about surrogate motivating operations, transitive motivating operations, and reflexive motivating operations. Now, these can be a little confusing to understand, so I thought it would be better to discuss these three categories of motivating operations together. It may help to understand them a little bit better. Now, there are a few concepts that you need to understand before you can truly understand the three categories of motivating operations, or MOs. In this module, you have videos on those concepts. So you have one video entitled The Difference Between MOs, Motivating Operations, and SDs, Discriminative Stimuli. Another video on unconditioned MOs and conditioned MOs, and a third video on establishing operations, or EO, and MOs. Make sure you watch all three of these before watching the rest of this video. Trust me, it will help you to understand. It'll help you as you strive to understand surrogate, transitive, and reflexive motivating operations. So, assuming that you've watched all three, we are going to continue. First, let's have a little review on motivating operations, or MOs, and I'm just going to use MOs for the remainder, for the rest of this video. In non-behavioral terms, MOs are similar to motivation, desire, wants, drive. But these are abstract terms and states. You can't see or concretely measure desire or motivation or drive. We are behaviorists. We are behavior analysts. Things have to be quantifiable and verifiable. We have to be able to see and concretely measure the phenomenon at stake. So MOs are changes in someone's environment that affects the value of a particular outcome for a person. These are changes that we can see and concretely measure. MOs are environmental events that affect your behavior by altering the value, and by altering ultimately your behavior. So MOs are either value altering or behavior altering. And I'm just going to throw out a few comments to define or describe MOs for you. MOs affect whether a person wants or does not want a stimulus at a given time, which also helps to explain his or her behavior at that point in time. MOs can increase or decrease the effectiveness of a consequence. Now, Dr. Wilczynski gave you a great example in her video on differences between MOs and SDs. If you're not recalling it right now, I encourage you to go back and watch that video. Here's another example for you. So let's say that it's 3 p.m. and you've been up since 4 a.m. and you haven't had anything to eat. Now, right about now, food would be really reinforcing to you. The fact that you haven't eaten for almost 12 hours has altered your value for food. That is, it's increased the value of food for you and will most likely alter your behavior. That is, your hunt for food, your attempts to get food. This is an example of an MO. The environmental event of no food for 11 plus hours is affecting the value of food and your behavior. That is, your behavior to get food. This MO has affected the effectiveness of the consequence, eating, gaining food, and truly explains your possible erratic behavior to be a little irritable and to abruptly leave your 3:15 meeting to get something to eat before the cafe closes at 3:30. I don't know about you guys, but I know many people who get hangry, hungry and angry at the same time. And understanding MOs kind of helps me to understand, okay, this is where their hangry behavior is coming from. Okay, so got it? Great. Now, you can have unconditioned MOs and conditioned MOs. The example above is an unconditioned MO. Since Dr. Cullen has already reviewed unconditioned MOs with you in her video, I won't go further into this. I'll just go directly into conditioned MOs or CMOs. CMOs, conditioned motivating operations, are just that. They have in some way, fashion, or form been conditioned over time. That is, it's been learned based on our past experiences. This is where the three categories of CMOs, conditioned motivating operations, comes in. You have surrogate CMOs, transitive CMOs, and reflexive CMOs. So let's start with surrogate. Surrogate CMOs occur when a neutral stimulus has been paired with an unconditioned motivating operation, or a UMO, or it can be paired with another CMO. Now, because it has been reliably paired over time, it takes on the same behavior altering and value altering effects as the original UMO, even when the UMO is not present. So let me give you an example to help you understand that a little bit better. Rain may be a UMO for using an umbrella. If meteorologist Vin Diesel consistently and reliably forecasts rain, we may begin to pair his forecasts with rain. His forecast can begin to operate as a surrogate CMO to prepare for rain. It may increase the value of an umbrella and your behavior to take an umbrella to work with you in the morning, even when it's not raining, i.e. the absence of the original UMO. You get it? Because the neutral stimulus, his forecast, has been consistently paired with rain, the UMO, it has altered the value of the forecast and the umbrella and our behavior to carry an umbrella, even in the absence of the UMO, the rain. Understand? Got it? Good. Now let's look at transitive CMOs. Transitive CMOs occur when a stimulus acquires its reinforcing value by being paired with an item or an event that is needed to access another CMO or UMO. Now this book, Functional Behavioral Assessment, Diagnosis, and Treatment, you guys should have this. I believe it is a required text in if not one, a couple of the courses in the program. Great book. I totally recommend you buy it and keep it. Has a really good example of transitive CMOs in it. So I'm gonna give you that. Why reinvent the wheel, especially when there's a great one in front of me. So the example in this book is. Let's see here. If the value of food has been established and you only have access to food in a can, this condition will also establish the value of a can opener. Do you get it? The can opener, it's the stimulus. This can opener has acquired its reinforcing value because it's needed to access another CMO or UMO, i.e. the food. Another example here is if the value of food has been established and the only food you have access to is in a locked cabinet, this condition will increase the value of the key and also increase the value of interaction with any person that has the key. So again, when you look back at our definition of a transitive CMO and understanding these examples, the stimulus, it has acquired its reinforcing value because it's been paired with an item or event that is needed to access another CMO or UMO. I saw a really cool quote in somewhere else where I was reading, and it said, in order to get from here to there, you need something else. And I think that's a good way to remember transitive CMOs. Got it? Good. Now the last one is reflexive CMOs. Reflexive CMOs precede reflexive CMOs precede an aversive event. It's almost like a tongue twister, an aversive event. Thereby making escape or avoidance highly reinforcing. Reflexive CMOs indicate that something aversive is about to happen or could happen. The reinforcing value here is avoidance. The value is in the termination of the aversive event, thereby acting as an effective reinforcer. I found another really good example that I didn't create, but I'd like to share it with you because I thought it was pretty good. So let's look at the negative or the mean boss. I'm sure we've all had one of those in our lives, or the negative or mean instructor. Not here at Ball State, of course. In the presence of this person, you just can't seem to do anything right. And you're constantly punished. Because of this, you want to spend less time with your boss or your instructor. Soon, the environment, i.e., the workplace, in the case of a negative or mean boss, associated with this negative or mean boss seems to take on these aversive qualities, and you avoid going anywhere near where your boss might be. Even hearing his or her voice down the hallway may signal you to take an early lunch or avoid running into them, therefore avoiding possible punishment or avoiding a possible aversive situation. Now remember that MOs have value and behavior altering effects. The reinforcing value here is avoidance. The value is in the termination of the aversive event, thereby acting as an effective reinforcer. The altered behavior is purposely avoiding interaction with your boss. I hope you guys get that. Just to review, we have done a quick overview of MOs, CMOs, and then we talked about surrogate, reflexive, and transitive CMOs. I hope this was helpful in understanding the different types of CMOs. As always, if you have questions or need further clarification, please do not hesitate to contact your instructor. There's also really good information on this in your Cooper book, so don't hesitate to refer to that as well. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day.